Hello, this is Dr. Sophie Miller, and today I need to share with you a discovery that can completely transform your nights of sleep. Do you wake up 3, 4, maybe 5 times during the night with that urgent need to go to the bathroom? That feeling that your bladder simply won't let you rest in peace? Well, you should know that the solution to this nightmare might be in your fruit bowl right at this very moment, but probably not in the way you imagine. And what's most impressive is that some fruits you eat thinking you're taking care of your health might actually be making everything much worse. If you're over 50 years old and feel like you've lost control over your own bladder, especially during the night, you need to understand something that few doctors explain clearly. There are fruits that irritate the wall of your bladder like sandpaper, causing inflammation and constant urgency, while others act like a natural balm, calming your entire urinary system and giving you back your peaceful nights of sleep. And believe me, the difference between you waking up exhausted every morning or finally sleeping deeply could be in just 3 simple choices you make at the grocery store. Let me explain what really happens to your bladder after 50 years of age, because understanding this will completely change the way you choose what you eat. As the years go by, the inner lining of your bladder becomes progressively more sensitive and vulnerable. There's a protective layer called glycosaminoglycans, which works as a natural shield, preventing irritating substances in urine from causing inflammation in the bladder wall. The problem is that this layer gets thinner and thinner with age, leaving the mucosa exposed and hypersensitive. At the same time, the pelvic floor muscles, those responsible for holding everything in place and controlling urination, gradually lose strength and elasticity. And as if that weren't enough, the nervous system that controls urinary urgency signals becomes more reactive, sending false alarms to the brain saying you need to urinate urgently, even when your bladder is only half full. Now, here's the big problem nobody tells you about. Acidic fruits, those rich in irritating compounds or that work as powerful natural diuretics, attack precisely this already vulnerable and weakened system. They dramatically increase urine production, deeply irritate the already sensitive bladder mucosa, and activate those nerve receptors that send false and desperate urgency signals, making you feel like you need to run to the bathroom, even when there's no real need. Have you ever stopped to think how many times you go to the bathroom more because of that urgency sensation than actual need? But the good news, and this is what excites me to share with you, is that there are fruits with powerful anti-inflammatory compounds, specific antioxidants, and even natural muscle relaxants that literally calm an overactive bladder and can reduce your urinary frequency by up to 60%, according to recent scientific studies I've been following closely. Let me tell you a real story that happened in my office that perfectly illustrates all of this. Maria, a 64-year-old patient, came to me completely exhausted and desperate. She told me with tears in her eyes that she couldn't take it anymore, that she woke up 5 times every night, that she no longer had the courage to leave home for fear of not finding an available bathroom, and that even her husband had commented that she was becoming irritable and grumpy all the time. And you know what she told me? That the worst part of it all was knowing that the irritability wasn't her fault. It was simply the result of not being able to sleep through the night for months. When I started investigating Maria's diet, she responded with visible pride on her face that she ate very well, that she took care of herself, that every single day she had a large glass of fresh orange juice at breakfast, that she ate a generous slice of pineapple in the afternoon snack because someone had told her it was good for digestion, and that sometimes, before bed, she enjoyed a few slices of watermelon because she found it refreshing and healthy. She finished by saying that, after all, fruit is healthy, right? Do you think that way too? It was at that moment that I had to give her some difficult news to swallow. Those 3 fruits she was religiously consuming every day, thinking she was doing her body good, were actually completely destroying her quality of life and stealing her nights of sleep. The shocked expression on her face was indescribable. I'm going to be very direct and clear with you now about the 3 worst fruits you can consume if you suffer from an irritated or overactive bladder. First, all citrus fruits like oranges, lemons, tangerines, limes, and pineapples are real villains for anyone with this problem. The citric acid present in these fruits acts like true poison for a sensitive bladder because it drastically reduces the pH of urine, making it much more acidic and irritating. All this acidity inflames the already weakened bladder wall and triggers intense nerve signals of urgency, making you feel like you're going to explode if you don't find a bathroom immediately. Can you imagine the damage a glass of orange juice does every day? The second category of problematic fruits includes watermelon and melon, which many people love, especially in the heat. The problem is that these fruits are extremely powerful natural diuretics, capable of increasing urine volume by up to 40% in the first 2 hours after consumption. So, if you have the habit of eating watermelon or melon at night before bed, you can be absolutely certain that you're going to wake up several times during the night. It's like you're programming your own biological alarm clock to wake you up every 2 hours. And here's a surprise that shocks many people. Cranberry, that little fruit everyone recommends for urinary infections, can be a serious problem when consumed in excess by someone with an overactive bladder. Yes, it's true that cranberries help prevent urinary tract infections by preventing bacteria from sticking to the bladder wall. But the high acid content in them can deeply irritate a bladder that's already overactive and sensitive. It's that classic case of a remedy that turns into poison when used without proper guidance and at the wrong dose. Are you drinking cranberry juice thinking you're treating yourself? But now comes the good part. The part that can really change your life completely. I'm going to tell you about 3 fruits that work as true guardian angels for your bladder, that literally calm the urinary system and can give you back those wonderful nights of deep sleep you thought you'd lost forever. The first is the pear, an underrated but incredibly powerful fruit. Pears are rich in sorbitol and soluble fiber, have very low acidity, and even help regulate bowel movements, which is essential because constipation puts pressure on the pelvic organs and greatly worsens an overactive bladder. Serious scientific studies show that people who regularly consume pears reduce episodes of urinary urgency by up to 35%. Can you imagine the difference this would make in your life? The second miraculous fruit is the banana, so simple and accessible that it's at any market or grocery store. The potassium present in large quantities in bananas perfectly balances sodium levels in the body, which reduces fluid retention and consequently decreases bladder irritation. But there's more. Bananas also contain tryptophan, that amino acid precursor to serotonin that significantly improves sleep quality. So when you eat a banana in the afternoon snack, you're not only calming your bladder, but also preparing your body for a peaceful night. Isn't that incredible? And the third fruit, which I consider the absolute star of this natural treatment, is papaya. Papaya has a neutral pH, is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory thanks to the enzyme papain, and helps digestion without causing any irritation to the urinary tract. I've had patients who simply switched their morning acidic fruits to papaya and reported significant improvement in less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Are you willing to do this test? As a bonus, I always recommend apple without skin as well because although the peel can irritate some more sensitive people, The apple pulp is extremely gentle, hydrating, and rich in pectin, a special fiber that calms the entire digestive and urinary system at the same time. Going back to Maria's story that I started telling you, after that consultation, I asked her to completely eliminate orange, pineapple, and watermelon from her routine and introduce pear, banana, and papaya instead. Additionally, I advise something very important, that she should eat these fruits always in the morning or at most in the afternoon snack, but never, under any circumstances, at night or close to bedtime. At the follow-up appointment, just 3 weeks later, Maria walked into the office radiant, with a broad smile I hadn't seen before. She told me emotionally that she was sleeping, that she woke up at most once or twice a night, that her energy had completely returned. Her mood had improved so much that even her husband commented that she was more willing and excited about everything. And you know what's most impressive? She didn't need any expensive medication, no invasive procedures, no surgery. The complete transformation came just from the intelligent exchange of 3 fruits. But why does this work so well? Let me explain the science behind all this. Low acidity fruits that have natural anti-inflammatory properties and are rich in specific minerals like magnesium and potassium work directly on the autonomic nervous system that controls all involuntary bladder movements. These nutrients reduce involuntary contractions of the detrusor muscle, that muscle responsible for emptying the bladder, and at the same time significantly decrease the sensitivity of those irritated nerve receptors that keep sending false urgency signals to the brain. A robust study conducted by the University of Michigan followed patients with overactive bladder who eliminated known irritating foods and adopted fruits with calming properties. The result was impressive. A 50% reduction in nighttime urinary frequency in just 30 days. 50%. Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up half the times you wake up today? So now I want to speak directly to you who are watching me and who are tired of living as a hostage to your own bladder, of planning every outing thinking first about where there's an available bathroom, of avoiding long trips, of refusing invitations because you're embarrassed about the problem, of waking up exhausted every morning with no energy for anything. I want you to know, with all the certainty, that my years of clinical practice and all the recent scientific evidence give me that you have the complete power to change this. It's not about stopping eating fruits and depriving yourself of important nutrients. It's about making intelligent and conscious choices, about choosing the right fruits that will work in your favor and not against you. Based on years of treating patients with exactly this problem and following the most recent scientific research in the area, I can affirm with complete conviction, changing just 3 fruits from your daily routine can literally give you back entire nights of deep and restorative sleep, abundant energy during the day, willingness to do everything you love, and that quality of life you thought you'd lost forever, along with your youth. The difference between you continuing to wake up 5 times every night or finally sleeping peacefully until dawn is in your next trip to the grocery store. It's in the conscious choice you're going to make in the produce section. Choose the soft and juicy pear. Choose the banana that will give you potassium and tryptophan. Choose the papaya that will calm all inflammation. And avoid, at least at night and in moments close to bedtime, orange and its acidic juice, pineapple with its irritating enzymes, and watermelon with its devastating diuretic power. I want you to make a commitment with me now. Test these changes for 3 weeks. It's only 21 days. Register mentally or even in a notebook how many times you wake up during the night today, and then compare with the results after these 3 weeks making the changes I taught you. I have absolute certainty that you're going to be impressed with the transformation. Your bladder and your sleep immensely thank you for every intelligent choice you make from today forward. And I thank you for watching until here, because that shows you're really committed to improving your quality of life. If this video was useful to you, leave your comment down below telling me which fruit you consume most, and if you've already noticed any relationship with your bathroom trips. Share with that friend or family member who also suffers from this problem, because quality information needs to be shared. And subscribe to the channel to receive more serious medical guidance based on evidence that can transform your health in a natural and accessible way. A warm hug from Dr. Sophie Miller, and see you in the next video.